Well, we're going to jump right in with answering these questions that we have come in. Some reminders to you. Make sure you're looking at the members only site to see all the announcements. We have some announcements that we've been talking about for months now. Starting January 1st, we're going to drop back to one Zoom call per week. Well, actually, we're actually going to be adding another Zoom call, but we're dropping this Monday Zoom call. So they will no longer be Monday noon Zoom call unless you guys decide that you want the protocol Zoom call to be Monday at noon. So we're adding this protocol Zoom call. We probably will do that weekly or maybe every other week. I haven't decided yet, but we're going to add a protocol Zoom call to go over protocols. Since we can't be doing cheek swabs anymore, please look at the member site for details on that. I guess I did make a slide about that too. So we're going to have a protocol Zoom call. Please send in your preferred. It might not get what you want, but I'm going to kind of take a kind of like a little survey of when you want to have that. Maybe Monday at noon is a horrible time for people. We're not getting real good participation. So maybe we want to do it a different time, maybe Monday evening or something like that. So put your send in your via the Zoom call questions blue box on the member site. Send in your preferred time and day of the week to do that. So yes, we aren't going to be doing cheek swabs anymore because the state won't allow us to do those, and we're not going to be doing one-on-one calls anymore because the powers that be are just getting worse and worse. So they're just not allowing us to do those things. So everything's got to be done over the Zoom. Well, anybody that started with us in the last year, that was really your plan anyhow. But now we just have to really enforce it. So it's just the legal things. The state medical boards are very actively attacking clinics like ours. And they are now requiring that we have no one-on-one visits. This is listed. I just took this right off the member site. So please look at these updates right on the member site. So I'm not going to read this. You can read this later on the member site. So reminder that you all have access to all our courses using your same username and password. Okay, some questions that came in. I was originally diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Now I have a new diagnosis of squamous cell cancer. Is there a daytime program on my right for my squamous cell cancer? And can I use the current one, or is there a specific bulb required? Are there any topicals or supplements that would be a better option than Mohs surgery? Um, so let's go back to the first question. Originally diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Now I have squamous cell cancer. So that's totally different cancer and totally different frequencies. So I'll look up who asked this question, and I will send you a flash drive with some daytime programs that you can use for your squamous cell cancer. So this is a perfect example of a person needing an update on their program. So we've said before, time and time again that, oh, I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Now they're saying I have metastasis to the liver. Do I need a different program? Well, no, it's still pancreatic cancer in the liver. Or I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Now they're saying I have metastasis to the bone. Do I need a different program? Well, no, it's still prostate cancer in the bone. But this is a completely different cancer. So when there's a completely different cancer, you want to be running the frequencies for that cancer. So I'll need to send you a flash drive with some daytime programs for squamous cell cancer. So it's a very good question. Next part of the question, should I use a different bulb? No, use the same bulb you have. Don't make any changes there. So just use the same bulb. Then the last part of the question, are there any topicals or supplements that would be better option than the Mohs surgery? Well, there's nothing that's going to replace the Mohs surgery for squamous cell. So, but people have used different topicals for squamous cell cancer. Probably the most common topical for squamous cell cancer are just simply different essential oils. So essential oils can be really helpful for basal and squamous cell. So oregano oil is probably one of the more common essential oils to use for squamous or basal cell. Also, frankincense, copaiba, lemongrass. You might have to make sure when you're doing a topical essential oil, you got to just make sure you don't get too much skin irritation. Some people don't get any. And I would just use like a drop of it on there, just a drop on your finger, then put it on the cancer itself. None of these things are going to be a substitute for Mohs surgery in the eyes of the medical profession. So but certainly it's something that you can add. Right. Next question. Please let me know if you're able to address this question, and I will make a point to join. Okay, I didn't tell this person beforehand. Sorry. Monday or Wednesday both work. Understand that it'll be whenever you send in a question, it'll be on the next Zoom call. So this person will have to listen to this one. I was recently acquainted with a naturopathic doctor who is skeptical about the Rife machine. Well, welcome to the team of skeptical people on the Rife machine. There's a lot of doctors that are skeptical about the Rife machine. A lot of doctors are skeptical about things they just don't know anything about. To summarize, he said, if the exact frequency of the particular cancer is not known, which is likely due to mutation, it won't do anything. Well, I would agree. That's why the way we write programs is we put sweep programs in there. So as a cancer cell mutates, it'll still hit that. And there's no absolute perfect way to get the frequency of the cancer. It's just impossible. So you just do your best. And that's the beauty of having 8 hours every night that I can write programming for. The chance that we're going to hit that frequency is pretty darn close, pretty darn good. Again, I've shared with you the different times of my practice when we used to just have people come in the office years and years ago, and they had pancreatic cancer, and they were only in my office 3 hours a week. Well, it was like crazy. Like, how do I know I'm hitting the right frequency, getting only 180 minutes a week, 3 hours a week in programming? It's a big difference between 3 hours a week in programming and writing 8 or 9 hours a night. So the chance of us hitting that frequency is much better. I think I answered that. One styrofoam piece inside the Rife bulb slowly shifted until it was in the middle. So my husband opened the side and pulled it back with some tweezers. Now, when I turn on a Rife setting, it's way louder than before. And the red light blinks. And the red light blinks on the right side where it says bulb, as well as behind the red on-off switch. The sounds are coming from the machine, not the bulb. I'm almost afraid it sounds like I'm being electrocuted or something. So I've shut it off and not used it most nights. Okay, so if something happened where he hit the solder where the electric line goes into the bulb itself, that's probably what happened. So you just need to send the bulb back to Mike at TrueRife. You need to send it back to TrueRife. Go to TrueRife.com. Get their address. You can call them, tell them, you're got the Rife from us, and you just need a bulb repair. Be really inexpensive. They'll check it out. They'll do a thorough check on it and get you the bulb back. So definitely, you do not want to play with it yourself. You do not want to. First of all, you should never even have done that. Not to scold you, but there's nothing wrong. The frequencies will go right through the foam. So I don't care if the foam slides in or not. That's really meaningless. Don't open up your bulb for really any reason. You should not be opening up your bulb for any reason. There's just too many things that could happen. If you hit the solder, it's a special type of solder. You should not be trying to do that yourself at all. So send it into TrueRife and they'll repair that. Since I've been at it, this is the same person asking this question. I just split it into 2 questions to get on the slides. For 4 years now, haven't seen any tumor shrinkage. I wonder if it's actually supposed to be this way, meaning that we've talked about so many times that as long as it's not growing, it's not technically quote unquote cancer, because cancer is by definition cells that are in rapid replication. So yes, you might be exactly right. Or you're talking about the rife here. Is it supposed to be more quiet? Could be more dangerous? How should I proceed? Again, just call Mike or call TrueRife and talk to Jake there, or anybody who answers the phone, tell them you just need to get the bulb repaired. They're really fast. If you ship it to them, they'll get it done in 1 day and ship it back to you. Just really very efficient. So I wouldn't worry about that. Always, whenever you have any type of bulb issue or machine issue, you want to just get it to them to get it corrected correctly. Years ago, I had a patient who was given really 3 months to live, and after a year, he was doing fantastic. A matter of fact, his oncologist asked him to come in the office, and he had a notebook. He says, "I want to know everything you're doing," and he was writing it down. Of course, he wasn't writing it down for his patients because he can't recommend anything to his patients. He's probably writing it down for him and his family. But you really like to see honest other practitioners like that. But unfortunately, this person passed away several months later, and his wife contacted me and said he was doing great, doing the rife every day, every night. But then we tripped on the bulb wire and it pulled the wire out of the bulb. And I told him to ship it back to TrueRife to get it fixed, and he refused. He soldered it himself, and it never worked the same since then. Well, she had sent us the machine and the bulb back. I sent it directly to Mike, and he said that this just wasn't working. None of the frequencies were coming through the bulb because he used the wrong solder. So you don't want to do things yourself. Literally, it cost me $35 to have that bulb fixed. This is not an expensive fix on these machines. So don't try to do that yourself. Just send it into them or contact them, and they'll let you know the steps to do. All right, we don't have any other chat questions come in. A lot of people jumped on the call here after I got through this. In January, we're going to add a protocol Zoom call. A protocol Zoom call. And we're just going to talk about protocols, just talk about supplements and diet on this protocol Zoom call. We're dropping the Monday Zoom call. So this is the last Monday Zoom call, because next Monday we're not going to be open. So this is the last Monday Zoom call. And then we're going to add a protocol Zoom call. But I want you guys to pick the day and the time you want it, because these Monday noon Zoom calls are not very well attended. So I'm assuming that it's just probably not a good time for a lot of you. Of course, the people that are out here, it's probably a good time. But if you're listening to this later, it's probably not a good time for you. So I want you guys to give me some suggestions that you want to have that protocol Zoom call, whether it be in the evening or even later in the evening. I'm open to that. I want to take care of you guys and serve you. So especially some of the things that the state boards are doing to us, they're just shutting us down as far as being able to do one-on-one calls. And I explained that completely on the members only site. So go to the members only site so you can see what I've written about what's going on with the state boards coming after us. So, okay, well, we'll abide by their rules, and we'll be able to stay in business, but we got to do this all over group Zoom calls. Everything's got to be over a group Zoom call. So give me some times that work for you guys. Did you get the Zoom call questions that you just submitted? All right, let's look and see if you sent me. Oh, here comes the question. Let's see if we can pull that up. All right, so the question is, in the past month, my skin, entire body, and scalp have become very sensitive. Also, when I walk, I have considerable pain in my feet. Feet and ankles are slightly swollen again. Yesterday on the Rife, I ran the immune support, swelling, and liver support. I have no energy and I'm tired. I have had a busy schedule, not physical, but stuff going on, And the people visiting me periodically, I still try to get a nap in 2 or 3 times a day, but I get up 2 to 3 times a night to change the bandage. The tumor is, so I'm going to address that first part. It wasn't really a question, but you said you're getting skin, entire body, scalp have become sensitive. So what could be the possibility of skin and scalp sensitive? Well, because your tumor is expounding beyond your body, it could be skin stretching. Neurological sensitivity, maybe, yes. Those things are possible. I don't know why your scalp would be sensitive, though. I'm not sure about that. And I don't know with what you have going on, what it would cause pain in your feet, though, except just the swelling, just the limb, detoxification. So I think you're really right on the right support, on the idea of doing the swelling and liver support, just helping with detox for sure. The tumor is purging a lot, more gray, sludgy, dead cells, lots of fluid. In the past week, my bandages are changed every 2 to 3 hours. I'm eating 3 meals per day, and I have been for a couple of weeks. In the past 2 weeks, I only lost, is it 6 pounds? Or is it 0.6? You have 0.6 pounds. Hopefully it's only 0.6 pounds. When in the month prior, I was losing 2 to 3 pounds a week. So that would be really good news. So that's really good news if that weight loss has stopped. I tell you, that is a huge plus right there. Last week I had a vitamin C IV and have been wearing more patches, those ice wave patches, under the guidance of the doctor, who's very well versed in the patches. Merry Christmas to you as well. I'm praying for you guys. I just want to give you some encouragement. If that is, you've only lost 0.6 pounds in the last 2 weeks, that's a big plus. Make sure you keep eating, and hopefully that stuff that you're purging out of that tumor is just dead cells, more and more dead cells. That's just fantastic news. So keep up the good work. Question on the Zoom, on the chat. I have been using the TheraSage sauna for 3 weeks now. I'm experiencing a huge amount of swelling now in my right breast where the cancer is located. Any thoughts as to why that might be happening? Could it be due to the sauna? Maybe. The sauna is increasing heat. So you're increasing heat, you're increasing inflammation. And the whole idea is the inflammation that you're increasing is an immune response that's going to help kill the cancer. But some people can increase swelling with the sauna too. That could be a problem. Might want to back off on it a little bit, see if that makes a difference. And you could either back off on the number of sessions or just back off on the time. Try that. I think it's worth a try. All right, so get in your times that you want to do the protocol Zoom call. Please make sure you look at all the updates on the members only site. Look at the new restrictions that they're requiring for us. We could get mad, we could be all upset, we could scream and raise a fit, or we could go, okay, God's gonna use this to be able to help us help more people. And that's the way we're looking at it. We trust that God's sovereignty is good in all things, and that all those that are called according to his purpose, he has a plan for, and we can trust his love and great end game for us. So that's what we're looking for. Obviously, everything we look at is got an eternal perspective. That's what we're called to do. And so we look at the eternal perspective of everything that happens. We pray that he's in control. We trust in his perfect plan for us and for you. Know that we're praying for all of you, and we love you all deeply. And I'll talk to you in a couple days. Bye-bye.